Hi everyone, it's Tracy here from Parks and Recreation with the Town of High River, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the fact that they're having problems with sleep at night. Either they're falling asleep too early and not able to sleep through the night, or they fall asleep fine and can't sleep through the night, or perhaps they're waking up in the middle of the night, or perhaps they're having trouble even falling asleep. So I have some tips and tricks to help you help that nighttime routine of getting into bed, and hopefully it will create a situation where your body becomes um, used to the fact that it's time to go to bed and it's time to go to sleep. And like everything, we love routine. And so this is just to help you formulate a routine. So here are some tips I have for you. So the first tip is to clean your room. Sometimes when our room is too cluttered and it perhaps gives us a cluttered mind. So taking a few minutes just to tidy up some stuff and get your room nice and orderly before you fall asleep. The next tip is to turn down your lights. Sometimes, well, our brain is wired that when daytime is here, we're awake and we're ready to go. And then as the sun sets, our brain starts to produce more melatonin, and that's what helps us fall asleep at night. So making sure that you perhaps have a nice a very dim light in your bedroom, and making sure that you're kind of setting yourself up and training your brain that it's time to go to bed now, and turn down those lights. Artificial lights can mess around with our hormone responses, so we want to make sure we keep it nice and dim at night. The next thing is drawing or writing before you go to bed. So it helps you wind down after a stressful day, it keeps your hands busy while your brain starts to relax, and allows your thoughts to just kind of come out on paper of how you're feeling or how you're thinking, maybe how the day went, that sort of stuff. All right, next thing is drink a warm beverage. So you know how they used to always say the tryptophan in milk, it helps you fall asleep? Well, actually it doesn't. It's basically a myth, they're saying. So studies have shown that people who are low in magnesium, though, have a more difficult time falling asleep or are more prone to insomnia. So make sure that, with doctor's help, of course, you want to make sure that your magnesium levels are where they should be or where they're at, and then that will help you fall asleep at night. The other thing is, much like I said before with writing, a lot of people find it very helpful to journal. So there's a few different things. You could write down kind of what happened during the day, what your thoughts are, any kind of negative stresses that came out, anxiety, get it out on paper so that your brain isn't constantly thinking about it all night long. So get those thoughts down. And then the other thing that I've always been a big promoter of is a grateful journal. When you start to think about all the wonderful things that are going on in your life, then you start to have a more positive outlook. So even small little things that happen during the day, whether or not somebody brings you a coffee, or whether somebody, chimes in to give you a message to say hello and they're thinking of you, those are all really positive things to write down. And then you'll find if you write them down at night, you start to think about them throughout the day, and the day isn't so hard to get through. The other thing is making a to-do list. I know some of you think about, what do I have to do during for the next day? So getting those all down on a list, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. You've got your list ready for tomorrow. Meditate, of course. Those of you who follow along with me know I love to meditate. It is scientifically proven that it helps people fall asleep, it reduces stress, improves your concentration, and of course improves your overall heart health. So meditation is a great thing to get into. Reading a book. We are coming up for a wellness session here, and it's read a book, and then I'm going to give these tips for our High River Community Wellness page. So reading a book helps your brain settle down and gives you something to do that doesn't involve bright screens. And those are really the problem, right? Is the bright screens of TV or the computer. Stretch, taking a couple of moments to go through yoga, a yoga flow, or simply perform a few stretches that can help you release any kind of stiff muscles and just allow your body to then relax. The next thing is take a warm bath or shower. The warm water will help your muscles relax and then it helps to promote a better sleep. Turning down the temperature in your room or in the house. If you can set your thermostat to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius, it makes for a better quality sleep. And that actually comes from the National Sleep Foundation. So set your thermos down about an hour before you go to bed, and that will give you a nice restful sleep, and hopefully you can get through the whole night. Turning off your electronics, I alluded to it before. Just like the bright light in your bedroom, the screens do not help your brain turn off, especially the blue screens of our tablets and our computers. It inhibits the body's production of the melatonin, so we want to make sure that we turn off those screens, again, about an hour before you go to bed. And then turning on white noise. So anything like a fan, gentle music, or simply, if you have a snoring husband like myself, the rhythm of a snorer can actually help you kind of lull you yourself into a sleep. Some people find it very peaceful to listen to constant noise, and it helps us turn off our brains. Although if you find the white noise is too much, then don't try that one. And then 3 deep breaths before you fall asleep. So this is something that I saw on Dr. Oz. Deep breathing works its magic on our parasympathetic nervous system, and it's responsible for triggering the body's relaxation response. So your body enters a deep state of physical change, and it decreases our heart rate, it lowers our blood pressure, and it relaxes our muscles, and it also improves mental clarity. So taking 3 nice deep breaths before you fall asleep. So you want to try and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, but if that's hard for you, any oxygen that you can get into your lungs is great. You want to make sure that you're filling your lungs up like a balloon and completely allowing all that air out. You want to make sure it's not just a chest breath, but a abdomen breath. That means that your lungs are getting so full that it's pushing out your abdomen, and those are some really simple ways to know whether or not you're getting a nice deep breath in. So you want to take a nice deep breath in and out before you fall asleep 3 times. I hope these tips and tricks help you. Have a great day and a peaceful sleep.